Okay, it's May the 3rd. Little update on the Jerome Bee farm. Had a storm the other night come through here and had this big limb get knocked over. Just missed everything. So that was a good thing. Missed the hives. These two big hives right here swarmed. I caught one before it did swarm, and I moved swarm cells out and made multiple splits. One of them is right there. That hive was queenless. I actually put a swarm cell in there and it hatched out right in my hand the minute I put it in there, and that queen has hatched out, or has went out and mated and is laying now. And this hive over here on the end, I did a vertical split on it. If you're interested in a vertical split, look up Jeff Horshoff, Mr. Ed on YouTube, and he can explain how to do a vertical split. Anyway, I made several splits off of this hive right here. I think I made this one into 4 hives total, and this queen hatched out. I actually found the virgin queen and she never returned. So I have laying workers in here, which is a bad thing. So I have cells with 3 or 4 eggs in them, and that's a sign of a laying worker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this hive and I'm going to combine it over there on that far end with this one that has the new queen that's laying, that did hatch out. That came from the swarm cell and the second from the right there. I'm going to combine them with a screen in between, so the pheromones from the queen will get up into this hive and the laying workers will stop. I'll leave them like that for a week or two and leave them a way to get in and out, and that should stop those workers from laying. And at that point I'll take the screen out and combine it, and it'll be a double deep and be ready for a honey super soon, hopefully. So with that, I'm going to get started and video that. Okay, this is the laying worker hive. March 27th is when I did the split. April 14th is when I spotted the virgin queen. If you hear airplanes going over in my videos, that means the wind's out of the north. It's a cold front came through today. Will Rogers Oklahoma City Airport's about 17-18 miles north of here, so we get to hear all the airplanes when the wind's out of the north. So yesterday I went through this and I found a laying worker, or workers, which is not a good thing. So as usual, I went to get started and I couldn't find my hive tool or my smoker. Smoker wasn't lit. So these bees are cold, that's why they're hardly moving. So I'm just going to give them a little smoke. I'll pull out a frame. Maybe we'll be able to see what I'm talking about. If I actually spotted a queen in here, but that's not going to happen. Normally when you go through a hive you don't open it like this, but because you want to be careful not to hurt the queen. I know there's no queen in here, so I'm not too worried about it. So here's what I'm talking about. I doubt if you can see the eggs, but if you look closely, you can see all the drone cells spotty in there, Every one of those is a drone cell, so there's no workers being laid at all. So these are all sterile eggs. And when I looked in here earlier, there were multiple eggs in the cell. Like there would be 3 or 4 or 5 eggs per cell, and that's a sign of a laying worker. They say sometimes a new queen will do that, but none of these are turning into workers, so those aren't from a queen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this back together and take it over and combine it. So one time you should never open a hive is late in the evening or when it's been cloudy and rainy, because they get really grumpy. So I'm just, I guess, out of desperation looking to see one more time, is there a queen in here? This whole frame here, I believe, is all drones. So see, all that should be worker brood, and it's all drones. So not cool. Here's the other side, same thing. There's so many bees on there, it's hard to tell. You can blow on bees and make them move. You see all those drone cells there? It's awful. So anyway, these worker bees are good workers, so the ones that aren't laying eggs. So back together they go. And we're going to pop this sucker off and go. I'm going to get that other hive ready over there. I'm going to put this inner cover on so they don't get so cold while I got this going on. It's about probably 58 degrees or a little cooler. Okay, what I got here is a single screen board. What this is designed for is to put on top of your supers in the hot summer so there's better ventilation. There's a little slit right here that won't be sealed. So what I'm going to do is put this on. I'm going to duct tape the sides so they can't get out on both sides, and I'm going to leave a little hole back here at the back right. So the bees on top, this will be their new entrance and exit right here on this little spot. So they'll have to reorient to that. Hopefully then they come out, they'll realize they're in a different space and reorient. If not, I'm going to put a nuke in that spot where I've taken that hive from, and any workers that fly out and go back to their old spot will go into that nuke and help it thrive. So I'll put this in here. These bees are probably pretty grumpy too. So like I said, this is a brand new queen. Just mated and just started laying. This is sugar left over from winter from another hive. I just keep it on there so they'll keep eating it. Put this on here. This will let the bees touch, but not attack each other and kill each other, because the laying workers have a pheromone that smells like a queen, so it'll be different queens and they won't get along. So this will keep them separated, and after a while the pheromones from the queen on bottom will go up, and from what I understand, that those laying workers will stop laying. Then I can take the screen out and combine them. Okay. Whew, they're grumpy. So that's it. I'm going to put the top back on. I don't think I'll put that sugar back on here. I'll put that somewhere else where they need to boost. So I'm going to duct tape the sides like I said, and that'll be that. This duct tape comes off, it's probably not a big deal. It just gives them a lot more area for an entrance and exit. Whew. They're not happy. Okay, there it is. It's the original hive down here on the bottom. I got them reduced way down to keep robbers from trying to get this mix here. I took the, I don't put any Pro Health in it this time of year because the lemongrass scent really attracts the other bees, so I'm hoping just the pure sugar and water keep it from trying to rob each other so bad. What I'm finding this time of year, or this year itself, we've had so much rain here recently with all the storms that these hives aren't making hardly any honey. They're just barely surviving. The ones that have a lot of bees, they're almost to starve out. So I'm actually putting feed on some of these 2 deeps. I know there's a honey super on that and you shouldn't do that, but they're going to consume all that and they're not going to store a bit of it. So when that's gone, hopefully the sun will be out tomorrow. That'll be gone, and they'll start storing some honey for themselves. Then later on they will fill that super. So here in the back, that's their entrance and exit now, this little hole right here. So that's for the top ones in this box where the laying worker is. There's a little escape hole right here. I'm going to tape over that so they can't get in and out of that. So hopefully this will work. I'll do an update on this in a couple weeks, and we'll see if all the drone brood is hatched out and we don't have any more eggs up there. They stop laying. So stand by for that. 2-3 weeks I'll update this. Okay, there it is all set up. The duct tape on it, lids on. Got the slit tape shut in the back, so that top deep, the only way in and out they have is right here in this little slit. So marked it right here. May 3rd, combined number 15 laying workers with the screen. You can see April 23rd, put 2 queen cells in, and virgin queen hatched out right in my hand. That's when I was putting that cell in there from that swarm. May 2nd, self-potted the queen, and she was laying eggs. So that was really cool. That's it. Thanks for watching.